Your cat sleeps on your bed. It waits for food. It purrs when you touch it. But biologically, it is still almost identical to a wild predator. In this video, we explore why house cats are one of the least domesticated animals humans live with, and what that really means. Have you ever seen a cat walk toward a mirror and freeze? Not curious, not playful, frozen, like it just saw something that should not exist, because to you, it's just glass, a reflection, a copy of the room. But to a cat, a mirror might be something else, a doorway that doesn't open, a predator that doesn't smell, a second world that moves when it moves. And sometimes, cats don't fear the mirror. They stare into it, like they recognize something inside. Stay until the end, because the final theory makes this terrifying. Mirrors are one of the strangest inventions humans ever created, a surface that shows reality, but cannot be touched. A world made of light, a place where the room repeats itself perfectly, except something is always wrong. The depth feels real, but it isn't. The movement is yours, but it isn't. And humans learn early. A mirror is harmless, but cats don't learn the same way. Some cats ignore mirrors completely. Some fight their reflection. Some run away, and some approach slowly, like they're testing the laws of the universe. Because cats are not just seeing, they're sensing smell, sound, vibration, airflow, and a mirror breaks all of it. It shows an animal without scent, without warmth, without a heartbeat. So the question becomes, what does a cat think it's looking at? Before we begin, tell me where you're listening from and what time it is there. And if there's a mirror near you right now, look at it, because after this video, it may not feel like decoration anymore. Humans trust vision more than anything. We see a reflection and we accept it. But cats don't live by sight alone. Cats live by confirmation. They see something, then they smell it. They hear it, they test it, and mirrors fail every test. A mirror cat doesn't smell like a cat. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't make noise on its own. And yet, it moves perfectly. That is unnatural. To a predator, that is suspicious. Imagine being a cat. You walk into a room, and there's another cat, staring back, not blinking, not running, not approaching, just watching. And every time you move, it moves. You lift your paw, it lifts its paw. You step closer, it steps closer. But you can't smell it. You can't hear it breathing. You can't feel its body heat. It's a cat-shaped ghost, a perfect imitation. And cats hate imitations. Because in nature, perfect imitation means trap. When a cat attacks a mirror, it's not being dumb, it's being honest. It's responding to a threat, a silent rival in its territory, a creature that appears out of nowhere, a creature that does not obey social rules. No scent marking, no submissive posture, no retreat. So the cat does what cats do. It tests the threat, claws, teeth, a strike, and then impact, glass, nothing, no body, no pain, just confusion. And that confusion is the first crack in the cat's reality. But not every cat attacks. Some cats step back. Their tail lowers. Their ears flatten. Their eyes go wide. They don't see a rival. They see something worse. A world that doesn't make sense. Cats survive by understanding patterns. The shadow of a bird, the rustle of a mouse, the sound of a door. Mirrors are pattern breakers. They show movement with no source. So some cats choose the safest option, distance, because the mirror is a place where logic dies. To a human, a mirror is flat. To a cat, it can look like a hallway, a tunnel, a second room, especially at night, especially when the house is quiet, especially when only candlelight moves. That's when the mirror stops looking like glass and starts looking like depth. And depth is where danger hides. Cats don't fear darkness. They are darkness, but they fear what darkness can conceal. And mirrors are darkness that pretends to be light. This is where it gets disturbing, because some cats don't attack. They don't run. They stare, longer than they stare at anything else. They sit perfectly still. Their pupils expand. Their breathing slows, like they're watching a slow movement behind the reflection, like they're tracking something you cannot see. Sometimes the cat looks away, then looks back, as if it's checking if the thing is still there. And in those moments, the mirror feels less like an object and more like a presence. Humans have feared mirrors for thousands of years, not because of vanity, because of belief. Mirrors were used for divination, for rituals, for contacting spirits. People covered mirrors after death so the soul wouldn't get trapped. People warned children not to stare too long because something might stare back. And across cultures, there is a recurring idea that mirrors don't just reflect, they copy. And copying is dangerous because the copy is never perfect, and whatever is imperfect might be something else wearing your shape. Cats have always been linked to the unseen. Ancient Egypt, medieval Europe, modern urban legends, cats in hallways, cats in doorways, cats staring at corners, cats reacting to empty rooms, and mirrors are the ultimate threshold, not a door, not a window, a surface that creates another world without allowing entry. So when a cat stares into a mirror, it feels like it's doing what cats have always done, standing guard, watching the border between worlds. From a scientific perspective, cats respond to mirrors in different ways for simple reasons: experience, personality, socialization. Some cats were raised around mirrors. They learned early that reflections mean nothing. Others weren't. And cats do not automatically recognize themselves the way humans do. Self-recognition is rare in animals. Most cats interpret the reflection as another animal, or as a confusing visual event. Behavior experts explain that cats rely heavily on scent. When the mirror shows an animal, but offers no scent confirmation, the cat may become stressed or hyper-alert. In other words, cats don't fear mirrors because they're magical. They fear mirrors because mirrors break the rules. But even science admits something. We still don't fully understand feline perception. We know what cats can detect, but we don't know what cats experience. And that's where the mystery lives. Now we reach the theory, the one that makes this terrifying. What if cats don't fear mirrors because they think another cat is inside? What if they fear mirrors because they notice something else, something small, something wrong, a delay that shouldn't exist, a movement that doesn't match perfectly, a shadow that appears where there should be none? Because humans assume mirrors reflect reality, but mirrors also reflect things we ignore: light, static, flicker, the tiny distortions of the world. And cats are obsessed with distortion. They chase the invisible. They hunt what we don't see. So here's the terrifying idea. A mirror is not a window into another world. A mirror is a trap for attention, a surface that pulls your eyes away from what's actually behind you. And cats know it. That's why they stare past the reflection. That's why they freeze. That's why they sometimes refuse to enter a room if the mirror is facing the wrong direction, because the cat isn't looking at itself. It's looking at the space that the mirror is hiding. So tonight, if you walk past a mirror and you feel watched, don't look into the glass first. Look beside it. Look behind it. Because if a cat is staring at a mirror, it might not be afraid of its reflection. It might be afraid of what the reflection is distracting you from. And in the next video, we're going even deeper, because some cats don't stare at mirrors. They stare at empty corners, and people who ignored it sometimes disappeared.